If you're going to day trip out of Dublin, why not go where the nobility went and visit the Powerscourt estate, a large country escape of 47 acres of gardens and a grand house from the 13th century. This place was so coveted by the Wingfield family, English Marshals of Ireland, that they spent years trying to draw its owner, Phelim O'Toole, into an act of rebellion, the penalty for which would be forfeiture of all his land. To them. Well, the plot didn't work out exactly as planned, so instead, they just murdered poor old Phelim and made themselves at home, renting it for just £6 a year. All right, I'll admit, I'm not exactly here for the history. Out back, the old mill house has been put to excellent use. That's right, as a distillery, making Fercullen whiskey. And what a whiskey it is. I can't wait to give it a taste with the master of all things Irish food and beverage, Santina Kennedy. Santina, we are in this gorgeous old building on the Powerscourt estate. Tell me about your connection to it.
Well, here we are in this beautiful old mill house. This was the centre of farming on the estate. I can see outside there all the farm buildings, the stables next to the big house. And I am very proud to work here because my father's family worked on this estate and in this building for over 250 years. So for me, it's a lovely connection.
I am excited to hear about your whiskies and how they pair with these local produce. Am I right?
For us, this has been a great way to introduce whiskies to people. Now, I'm very proud of Irish food and Irish food history. In fact, my job title here is a food historian. And I love looking back to see what people ate through the ages and how we can give a sense of place and a sense of history to what we're offering here.
You know, people think, being an Irish person living in the US, that I'm very familiar with Irish whiskey. I am indeed not.
Okay.
So I would ask you to give me a lesson.
Great, and we're going to change that now. You're going to be flying the flag for Irish whiskey when you go back home. So when you think, oh, I don't like whiskey, you're probably thinking there's one taste of whiskey, it all tastes the same. It really doesn't. So Irish whiskey needs to be aged for 3 years before it can be called whiskey. So that's aging in the barrels across the way in our warehouse. Irish whiskey, typically Irish malt whiskey, is made from barley, malted barley. And the malted barley, a lot of the barley that we use actually grows in the fields around here, and we also use the water from Powerscourt waterfall. So what you're tasting is a taste of this place. And how better to have that than with a taste of Irish food from this place.
Having witnessed what Powerscourt waterfall looks like, I now cannot wait to taste this.
Great, well that's exciting. So we start off with the whiskey, the very first whiskey here, which is a blended whiskey. So that's this one here for yourself, yeah. So first of all, when we're smelling whiskey, just under the nose and not put your nose right into it, otherwise you're going to get a big waft of alcohol.
Yes, I just did.
Yeah, okay, so we're going to just right under the nose, let's have a little taste. So when you're tasting whiskey as well, it's a good idea just to leave your mouth slightly open as you taste it and breathe out, and then you'll get the full flavour and not just the alcohol.
I've just learned a new way to drink.
There you go.
That's delicious.
Isn't it? Really delicious. Lovely and light. There's lovely vanilla in there, lovely little bit of citrus coming through, tiny little bit of oak, lightly spiced, nothing too overpowering in that blend.
Delicate.
This one we're going to try with it is the charcuterie. And it comes from the Wooded Pig in Tara in County